What is up, guys? Jared Spawning here, and today I want to discuss my thoughts on the top 5 currently active powerlifters. Now, I want to clear a few things up before we get into this. There are a couple people missing that you might be confused about. My, qualification for this list was that at least one of the records that they hold must have been set in either 2017 or 2018. So you'll notice Eric Lillibridge, for example, will not be on this list because all 4 of his world records, while he completely owns the 308 weight class in both reps and without reps, were all set in 2016 across 2 different meets. Jesse Norris is another lifter who has not set any records in 2017 or 2018 and actually has had a couple of his records, or at least one record I know of beaten. His world record total at 198 pounds was beaten by Ben Pollock, and he's someone that's very prone to injury, unfortunately. So that was kind of like my qualification. So anyone else, if they did meet the qualification and I didn't include them, then that's my bad. But otherwise, let's get into this. Now, number 5, we have Kevin Oak, and he holds 2 different world records. As you can see from his Instagram bio, he does hold the 220-pound raw world record total in knee sleeves. Now, he actually achieved this total through an 810 squat.
Let it settle.
A 496-pound bench press. And a 794-pound deadlift. Now, this actually put Kevin Oak at a total of 2,101 pounds, or approximately 953 kg. And the reason it's 2101 and not 2100, which the list equals up to, is because they are rounded a little bit. So what ends up happening is there's it's not exactly like 810, for example, on squat. There's little numbers after that. It's just you're rounding down to 810. So what ended up happening is that you round up to 2101 because that's what you do in a meet, is that you would round up to or round up down to the nearest pound. Now, this is a very significant pound. The reason I'm making a big deal about it is because Kevin Oak, technically speaking, when he set this world record at 220 pounds, he actually not only held the world record for that class, but beat by a single pound T. Popola's world record 2,100-pound total at 242 pounds, meaning at a weight class lighter, he actually had a very tiny bit heavier total. But still, technically in powerlifting, you can't chip in, I don't believe, by a pound. I believe you have to chip in by a half kg, or maybe it might be you have to chip in by a whole kilo. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it is half a kilo, so a pound is a little bit less than half a kilo. And obviously it doesn't really matter because it's different weight classes. But I think that's extremely important to note, that Kevin Oak was that far ahead of the game, that he was breaking a world record not only for his weight class, but technically for the weight class above as well. Of course, this would only last for 3 days, as you'll see a little bit later in the video. But still, that is extraordinarily significant. And it's not his only world record either. Very, very recently, in the past week, I believe it was just last Saturday, so that's 6 days ago from now, Kevin Oak also set the world record squat of 832 pounds in the 242 class. Now, there are so many impressive things about this lift, I don't even know where to begin, but let's start at the fact that this is done during meet prep for the current US Open, meaning that since he was 5 weeks out when performing this lift, Kevin's not even 100% peaked yet, so he's going to be even stronger at the US Open than he already was when he broke a world record, and if a world record wasn't his final form, then I'm really scared of what's going to be it. Also, did you see how easy this lift looked? This was only his second attempt. He didn't even bother taking a third attempt. He's planning to smash this world record by another 20 or so pounds. And also, did you see that depth? That was absolutely incredible. And I also want to note that, for those wondering, this was 377 kilograms in the 110 kilogram class. So I am sorry I did not mention that before, as I know that there are plenty of people who are using that system. And in powerlifting, it is the only system that you're supposed to use. I know a couple of meets like RPS use pounds, but even they, I believe, use kilogram weight classes. Anyway, though, that's not really important, but another thing I did want to mention is who Kevin Oak took this world record from. And that man is one of the most prolific squatters of our day and of all time, in my opinion. That is the legendary Canadian powerlifter Amit Sapir, who actually at one point has held world records in 4 different weight classes on the squat. Now, this was not all at the same time, but before Kevin took this world record, he held it in 3 weight classes. So formerly, he has held the world record at the 181, 198, 220, and 242 pound weight classes. And I believe that is 82 kg, 90 kg, 100 kg, and 110 kg weight classes, and he still holds 2 of those world records today. So to take a world record from a man like that during meet prep, as a powerlifter, mind you, who does not specialize in the squat, it is Kevin's best lift, but he does not specialize in it like Amit does. That is absolutely incredible and really just sets the tone for what Kevin's going to be able to accomplish at the US Open this year. Now, number 4, we have Yury Belkin, and you might know him for his exceptional sumo deadlift of 440 kg or 970 pounds at a body weight of just 103 kg or 227 pounds. Now, this, mind you, put him in the 110 kg class or 242 pound weight class, but that's just a testament to how much more impressive it really is that he was actually only 7 pounds over weight class, and he was a good 15 pounds away from the cap of his weight class. So he actually did this significantly underweight, and at the very same meet, he also broke the world record for the 242 pound or 110 kg weight class in wraps. So this means that he actually wore wraps when he squatted, which adds a little bit of poundage to your squat. Probably around anywhere from 50 to like 100 plus pounds. It is not the equivalent of wearing a squat suit, but you do have your knees wrapped, and it definitely does help. But he set a world record of 1,055 kg, again in the 110 kg class, and that is just absolutely insane to do all of this in one meet. His deadlift, is so incredible that it is the world record for the 242, 275, and 308, or 110, 125, and 140 kg weight classes. So that's right, like nobody in 2 weight classes above him has ever deadlifted anywhere close to what he has. Now, I think it's pretty important to note what his total was achieved through. So his squat in reps, mind you, was 390 kg, which is, I believe, 860 pounds. A 225 kg or 496 pound bench press. And if you're wondering what's going on here in this photo, I know it looks a little bit weird. He's just setting himself on the bench. He's not going to obviously bench with his butt off the bench like that. That would not be legal in a powerlifting meet, as there are 3 points of contact that you must maintain when benching. And that is going to be the back of the head, which is something I need to work on fixing, the shoulders, and then the butt. And then, of course, the lift that he's really famous for, and furthermore, the lift that really pushed his total through the roof, and that is his incredible 440 kilo or 970 pound deadlift. Now, if Yuri had just chipped in little world records, obviously it'd still be impressive. We're talking about world records, but he might not even be on this list. It's just the fact that both of these world records obliterated the previous. His 970 deadlift, you're talking about a massive jump. I mean, again, that is higher than the world record in 2 weight classes above him, and he was 15 pounds underweight. And he also obliterated the total world record, I think, by over 100 pounds. And I think the deadlift world record was, it was just breaking his own world record, I believe, at this point. So it was not nearly as significant of a jump, but it was only because he had broken the world record already. So he already had a massive deadlift in that weight class as it was. But yeah, it's just that sheer dominance in this class in reps. Not even lifters like Larry Wheels want to go into this weight class with reps. He said it before because he knows that total is going to be extraordinarily difficult to beat. And if you can, hold off a lifter like Larry, who himself is known for obliterating totals, then you're doing something right. Now, at number 3, I have a lifter who may come as a bit of a surprise to you, and that is Steffi Cohen. And the reason I say that is because a lot of you guys probably weren't expecting a female powerlifter, and now you're probably thinking, oh, you're just, meeting some kind of agenda where you feel that it's necessary now to have a female powerlifter on the list. That is not the case at all. Okay, the truth of the matter is that nobody dominates the 123 class like she does. Okay, she holds 3 different world records that she set all at the same meet in 2017 at Boss of Bosses 4. And that is just absolutely insane, to hold the squat world record, the total world record, and the deadlift world record, all, in the same meet, to break all of those. That is just an absolutely excellent performance, So yeah, she does compete in the 123 pound weight class, like I was saying. And obviously that's a very, very low weight class. But, think about this, okay? She deadlifted 485. Okay, that's 220 kg right there. She's deadlifting. Okay, you're talking about when someone is pulling around 4 times body weight, that they are an incredible powerlifter. And then when they can also break a total world record, just like Yury Belkin did, they're pretty insane. And then when they're also breaking the squat world record in this meet, then that's just another level. Now, I'm just going to warn you ahead of time, the quality of the audio is not very great on this, but needless to say, these lifts speak for themselves. You don't need to hear it, obviously, to realize how incredible this is. So, we're looking at 182.5 kilogram or 402 squat. Now we have the only lift that she actually didn't break a world record on, and that is her 92.5 kg or 204 pound bench press. And then finally we have easily her most impressive lift, her 220 kg or 485 pound deadlift. And the reason I say most impressive is because she didn't just break the world record on deadlift, but this was her actual 4th attempt, which you're only allowed to take a 4th attempt in a powerlifting meet if you're going for a world record. And she had already broken the deadlift world record on her 2nd and 3rd attempt. So she broke the deadlift world record 3 times in a single day. You really have to just think about how far ahead she is of any other competitor in this weight class for deadlifting. This is an absolutely incredible pull. Now, obviously, when you break 2 world record lifts in a single meet and your deadlift just blows any other out of the water, you're probably also going to break the world record total, and that's exactly what she did with 490 kg or 1,080 pounds as her total. And mind you, this is in knee sleeves, not in knee wraps. I mean, that is just on another level, like I said, to just, I don't know, I feel like, to me, it's just always insane when a powerlifter can do this, when they can both pretty much specialize in a specific lift like she does, but then also hold a world record on another lift, and then therefore in the total, without even really focusing on the total, you can hold that world record too. The other thing is that she actually went 10 for 10 in this meet. So usually you get 9 attempts, unless you're going to be trying to break a world record on a 4th attempt, and she got every single attempt. She went 3 for 3 on both squat and bench, and 4 for 4 on deadlift. So I've never seen another lifter who actually went 10 for 10 in a meet before, which is just absolutely insane to me. I've seen 9 for 9 multiple times from lifters like Larry Wheels, who, spoiler alert, will be getting mentioned soon on this list. But 10 for 10, I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. To have that amount of endurance, you're at a meet for how many hours and you're still enduring, still pushing through, and still breaking more world records. So that being said, let's go into number 2. Now, number 2, we have Ray Williams, who, chances are, if you know his name, it's because of his legendary 1,069-pound squat performed around a month ago. And, of course, that's an absolutely incredible lift, but what's also important to note is the fact that he holds the world record total in the super heavyweight class. So, with that being said, overall, I mean, his dominance of the squat is something that has never been seen before. I mean, you just have to consider the fact that every time he's breaking the world record, it's his own. And what a year ago was considered that pretty much the heaviest squat possible in knee wraps is what he's doing now in knee sleeves. So, I mean, he could very well hit 500 kilo in sleeves, where that's the heaviest squat I believe ever done in wraps currently. So, I mean, he's just in another level of existence. You're talking about years ago he was squatting in the lower mid 900s, and that was a world record. And he's just upped his own world record so much over time. And obviously, people have their own opinions on whether or not he uses juice, because he does compete as a natural. But to me, that's not as important as just acknowledging the fact that he is by far the most legendary man to ever get under the bar in terms of squatting. So yeah, once again, 1,069-pound or 485 kg squat done about a month ago at the Arnold Sports Festival 2018. Now, as if that weren't impressive enough, just 1 year before his world record squat, he actually broke the world record total and world record squat at, again, the Arnold Sports Festival, this time 2017, with a 477.5 kg or 1,052 pound squat. A 235 kg or 518 pound bench press. And a 392.5 kg or 864 pound deadlift. Now, it was these three lifts that actually put him at a 1,105 kg or 2,436 pound total, which is just an absolutely incredible number. I mean, 2,400 plus pound total is something that in sleeves, again, a couple years ago, thought to have been impossible. Something that even in wraps, I mean, would have been like extraordinarily difficult to do, let alone in knee sleeves. And if you're squatting 1,000 plus in knee sleeves, it's just not something you ever see. So the fact that Ray has accomplished so much through both his squat and his total in the super heavyweight class definitely earns him the number 2 spot on this list. And just his sheer dominance of the squat overall, it really, in my eyes, is what makes him such a great powerlifter. Now, at number 1, we have, as you could probably guess, the legendary Larry Wheels. And at just 23 years old, he already holds 2 all-time total world records, as well as being very close to full meet bench world records in both the weight class that he holds the total world record in. Yeah, his bench press is probably his most legendary lift, but his deadlift, especially as of recently, has been absolutely incredible. He's pulled 870 pretty easy recently. He also benched 640, which was quite a grind, but 5 weeks out, so he had plenty of time to recover. And I believe he said on Instagram that he's actually going to not train anymore except for light accessory work for the U.S. Open. And he also has been weighing around 270, so I'm kind of interested to know what's going to go on because he planned to compete in the 308 weight class, but you have to weigh over 275, obviously, to be in that weight class because the cap is 275 and then 308 and then open. So I don't really know exactly what's going to go on there, but I do know that he is going for Eric Lilliebridge's 2369 pound total. I think he's planning to go around 2375 was the goal. So we'll see how that goes. I have full faith that if Larry can really make use of the new leverages and obviously use the new weight he'll have advantage as well, then I'm very confident he could beat the world records, but that's not really too important because that's in the future. But let's look at what he's already done now. So first of all, let's look at the total that he set at the 2016 SPF Record Breakers meet. And he was just 21 years old when he set this total, okay? So what he hit was a 771-pound squat, or 350 kg. A 573-pound, or 260 kg bench press. And an 826-pound or 375 kg deadlift. Now, the incredible thing about this total is not only was Larry 21 years old, but he absolutely obliterated the previous world record held by Tipa Pola of 2,100 pounds in this weight class. So you really got to put that into consideration. I mean, there was a point where this weight class was very competitive. Larry held the world record for a very short time, I think of like 2,090, and then I think the world record became 2,095, and then Tipa Pola set it at 2,100, and that was not broken for a little while. But pretty quickly, Larry came back to bump the world record up by over 30 kg, or around 71 pounds. Again, as just a very, very young guy, in the junior group, actually, because I believe 23 and under put you as a junior when he did this. And he was 21 when he did this, and he's only 23 now. So he's still a junior. I mean, that is just an absolutely incredible feat, though, overall, to just set the world record so far ahead, something that nobody's even been able to touch now. The only person who's even really done anything substantial in this weight class was Pete Rubish, who tied Tipa Pola's record of 2,100 pounds, and because of weighing a little bit less, is currently ranked number 2. So a couple people have hit 2,100, but nobody is coming close to 2,171. Now, as if that were not impressive enough, of course, Larry holds the world record in the 275-pound weight class as well. Now, this is actually what I was talking about with how there's some meets that do use pound plates, and RPS is one of them, and this was towards the end of 2017. Larry was 22, about to turn 23 when he performed this. And his squat was 810 pounds or 367 kg. His bench press was 610 pounds or 277 kg. And his deadlift was 855 pounds or 388 kg. So again, this world record was a huge jump. In both world records, he went 9 for 9, and furthermore, actually broke the previous world record on his 8th attempt, and then blew the world record out of the water on his 9th. So here he actually beat Stan Efferding's world record total of 22.26 by 49 pounds. So very much gave himself, again, a really solid lead. And he's 22 years old doing this. I mean, and now 23, obviously. But that's just an absolutely incredible thing. I mean, we're seeing, the Ed Cohen of our generation, if you will. Larry is so far ahead of his competitors in any weight class he wishes to compete in. He shows that he's able to take weeks off of training to let his body recover. He's able to do a bodybuilding show and still get stronger. I mean, he is just the ultimate example of what you should strive to be as a powerlifter. So with that being said, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please do share it with your friends. And if there's anything that I may say that was a mistake or an error, let me know in the comments, and I will try to compile anything together that was mistakes and pin that comment so you guys know about little mistakes in the video. But overall, I mean, I really do appreciate everybody who is supporting me in this. I just really wanted to get some good information out for you guys. It doesn't mean I'm just using other people's content for this channel. I do post pretty much daily training clips unless I took a day off. So anyway, that's about it for this video. Every link will be provided in the description to all the sources that I used. The people's YouTube channels and Instagram will be in there as well. And yeah, peace.